Maybe they watch this, maybe they don't, but you need to be more proactive from your end, at least in the short term. And we're going to run into this situation, right? Is he playing it? Are you playing it? He wanted to play it. Now you play it. And it works out. But what happens, this kind of stutter step confusion between teammates, this play on the ball becomes way too risky, meaning that needs to be ball control. It needs to be a 50. If you get dunked, then that player's beat. And the same thing happens with this play. It's all the same theme. Cato's going to play the ball. And is he going to play it? Are you going to play it? We don't know who. That was not the play. Apologies. It was this one, right? They all look the same. That's the crazy thing. Is he going to play it? Are you going to play it? And then this play on the ball, whether it's him or you, it becomes entirely too concentrated with risk, where no matter who plays it, something needs to happen, because if something doesn't happen, two people are beat. Okay, so we're going to look at Cole. Cole is Grand Champ 3. Shout out to all the Grand Champ 3s. Scrim with the MSC team. We got Cole. Played good, I think. Lots of goals. Might have a short OT. Starting to advance. No, you're not sorry. No, it's all good, homie. Previously, just for context, whether I talk about it or not, I did discuss a lot of team stuff with him last time, specifically 50-50 quality and ball control on defense, because that was leading into a lot of awkwardness and team problems. Grand Champ 3 should be good gameplay. We'll take a peek. Lots of goals. Maybe a couple kickoff goals. I don't like to break down kickoffs unless like there's a clear, apparent issue going on. Nice trying that shot, by the way. You guys are still getting used to each other. I'll make one final team comment. Cut rotation. I think that's another thing that your team needs to figure out. Not just like who likes to cut. It's not that you guys are rotating wrong. That is not it. But there's confusion, especially from your POV. Like, look at supposedly Stu, right? Little ball side cut in the corner. Good. Works if this player is respecting that and continuing to track back. But if this player is going to control up the wall, this player can also ego on the wall. This player's position isn't bad, but it becomes overcommit territory, because this position and fake and shadow is only going to work if this player's 50 is good. And also, if there's a place to cut right here, you are becoming that cut opportunity. I don't know if it's like everyone wants to play the ball or everyone likes to cut. From your POV, it looks like you're respecting a lot of cuts, but it's hard to read. But then, like, it looks like everyone is having a hard time reading cuts. And like now this player doesn't cut, and now this player's out of position, and now they're transitioning where this player could have egoed this on the wall, and this player could have picked this up, and you could have cut the midfield. It's more of the efficiency of who is cutting, who is playing what ball, okay? And then we get into these awkward moments where it's like, you want to pre-jump this, right? You want to force this. But then Cato is thinking, I want to pre-jump this. I want to force this. Right? And now this player is getting more of an open shot opportunity, which will be blocked. But now see how you're posted on the goal line. And it's kind of this, players are cutting or looking for the same ball. And then like you see this, and it's like Cato's rotating in front of you, which is totally fine, but it makes you kind of stutter stop. And then he turns on the ball, and then he didn't play the ball. So it's like this, we're cutting, we're rotating ball side. It's making teammates have a hard time read the play. And it's like the cut is turning into like a drive challenge or a fake, right? It's just confusing. I know you could see that, Cole. That's my only team stuff on this to build on last week, because it's just giving them open shots, open clears, and this can lead into mistakes for sure. And then Cato, see how he rotates through the midfield, and it's like, that's a good rotation, but it's the, you are awkward here, right? You are awkward here because Cato's rotating, and then you kind of stutter stop, and then he turns, and then he doesn't play it. And now you want to play this, but then supposedly Stu looks like he's going to play it, but then you see Cato go to play it. Everyone can play it. It's not who needs to play it, but then no one plays it, right? And it's turning into this punishing moment. And it's working out, but these are things that lead into goals. Now, I want to focus on an individual level because I think the 50-50 quality ball control is looking better. I think the problem is the cut rotation, the ball side cut rotation, who's playing the ball, etc., who's covering what zone in the midfield, etc., like I showed. But also, and this like encompasses with it, it's, does he have another touch? Is he passing that? Is he going to follow? Like, he's boosting after to 50 it. And it's like, who goes when? Who's doing what? So there's still this like chemistry level problem you and the guys need to work out. But I want to focus on an individual level, like what we can do, what you can experiment with, because obviously your team is not getting coaching here. Maybe they watch this, maybe they don't, but you need to be more proactive from your end, at least in the short term. And we're going to run into this situation, right? Is he playing it? Are you playing it? He wanted to play it. Now you play it. And it works out. But what happens, this kind of stutter step confusion between teammates, this play on the ball becomes way too risky, meaning that needs to be ball control. It needs to be a 50. If you get dunked, then that player's beat. And the same thing happens with this play. It's all the same theme. Cato's going to play the ball. And is he going to play it? Are you going to play it? We don't know who. That was not the play. Apologies. It was this one, right? They all look the same. That's the crazy thing. Is he going to play it? Are you going to play it? And then this play on the ball, whether it's him or you, it becomes entirely too concentrated with risk, where no matter who plays it, something needs to happen, because if something doesn't happen, two people are beat. And it works out, kinda. But it's more of this like efficiency thing, team level efficiency. That's where my head's at. I'm going to start thinking about solutions, because like it's very, very apparent from the start. It's just we constantly, and it leads into a goal right there. It's just we constantly have two people playing for the same ball. It's not always cut rotation, but it's like, yeah, you could have pre-jumped that, you side flipped or back down. Okay, he could play it, you can play it, you both play it, and it's not a double commit problem. It's a positioning problem. So spacing is on my mind for you, also the team. But again, I can't enforce team level stuff. I don't necessarily want this, Cole, but so when you started submitting replays here, very traditional third man, right? Very traditional gameplay. And you got on a team that you started playing a little bit quicker, I felt like. And now you're on another team, and it's that traditionalness that you started with, that was more of your comfort zone. That's what would fix this. All right, we rotate back, and it's play a deep third. I don't want to go down deep third, meaning like the whole playstyle strategy, but it's play a third behind the midfield line. It's not anticipate to play an aggressive third in the midfield to shoot to score. You're playing a third behind the midfield line, and you are waiting for your teammates to recover. Because like, you're pushing aggressively when this dude's playing a redirect, and this is like, is he hitting the ball? Was he controlling the ball? Are you playing the ball? And this is the team level confusion. Easiest way to think about it is you rotate out, you retake a third. Very, very simple. Play your ball control, and it's rotate out. Track your pads, get your mid boost, look for your demos. But the simplification is rotate out, play behind midfield line. And this advice is very particular to your situation, because now this is what we want to prevent. Eventually we'll build on this, right? Like, we got to create like this base layer with the team. You take a third behind the midfield line. You don't even think about pushing this aggressively, or if you know your teammates playing this, you don't even think about following them aggressively, because you're not going to start your push until this player has at least started their rotation. Right? They haven't even recovered yet, and you're already crossing the midfield line. This is de-risking. And what's happening, and I mentioned this before, so now there's a play on the ball to be made. And now you're pushing aggressively. So that means that this play on the ball has to be successful. And it's just getting overly concentrated with risk, pairing that with a little bit of slow recovery from teammates, and it's just risky all over the place. See what happens. And obviously you adjust and he recovers, right? But now there's this huge pocket of space and it works out. But I hope you can see how this will clean up gameplay and not make everything is too reliant on one play to be made. Like, I want you to be able to position and be able to cover a lot of different opportunities. Good job in the demo. And it's like, we're going to sit goal line. We're going to sit here until we see this player beat the player. Okay, now we can move up. And then all of a sudden, a double commit happens, right? And it's like, where did that come from? And these are things that you can't change. You can't change the decisions your teammates make, but you can change how you play with this kind of lag time I talked about before, where it's like, okay, he has ball control. Now I'll move up. Now, what's frustrating is I don't even know where that player came from. I didn't even have the game sense that this player was going to ball chase cut. And like, this is, I'm showing these examples because this is what like you need to recognize as fact, as truth. They're going to do this. They're going to cut. They're going to rotate ball side. They're going to position for the same balls. And why I'm giving you the simple applicational advice of like playing patient. Now, this is your ball to follow. Don't get me wrong. I just want to show you this. And now it's rotate back, take a third, play patient. All right, we can cut the midfield because the other teammate was playing a third, but still good. All right, we weren't to wait, right? He wants to play the ball. I would fully anticipate your teammates to get more than one touch on the ball, more than one play on the ball. Rotate out, right? You could position in the midfield, but it's de-risk the play. It's fake. Play patient. Follow as a second. See how your teammate, supposedly Stu, just came out of nowhere again? I'm going to be honest. This is pretty frustrating from my point of view because I want to give you productive advice, as in I want you following your first man right now, Cato. You were playing patient. You were playing methodical. You weren't rushing the play. But now all of a sudden what you did looks bad. It's not. Okay, I don't think you think it looks bad, but it's just uncomfortable. I would let your teammates, supposedly Stu and Cato, I would let them get additional plays on the ball, let them solo play. You play super traditional, a hard third, not a deep third, but like you maintain that third man role behind the midfield line. And some of these goals I can't break down because like, okay, we're playing patient backboard. Both your teammates pre-jumped. You're playing patient goal line. They missed the ball and now you're punished, right? So like I can't break that down. I said before, like recognizing the fact, recognizing the truth. These are your teammates. This is what they do. You need to play simple, traditional until chemistry starts to build, trust starts to build, and you could start kind of toning up those aggression levels again. We're going to rotate out, play a third, play a midfield to support. Play a midfield to support. Good. 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 You just need like big hyper awareness when you play a second man, which that's a miscellaneous comment. I personally would not put you in a, I wouldn't, like every time you followed a first man as a second man should, you are cut off by your third man. And the other option, like we're looking at these past couple plays, the other option is you cut with them, meaning right now we're somewhere in between. We are in between patient, respectful, and aggressive, and that's why these plays look awkward. Or you just full send the cuts, full send the aggression. And that's how you kind of solve this another way, another extreme. That's what we need to do. We need to go to a traditional extreme or a very hyper aggressive ball chaser extreme. And that's how you fix this problem. Because like the bigger problem is the flow. We're not flowing. We're not chemming with the team. Good. Very good. And that was just a very patient play, and I think our teammate was behind us. See how like they like to follow aggressively. I mean, it's a hard team comp to play with. So I hope this helped with the extremes. It's either super traditional patient or super aggressive and risky. It's one or the other. Biggest priority still is building out this connection between your teammates. I personally would go for I mean, it depends what you want to do, how you like to play the game, Cole. I think the safer route makes more sense, but if you're feeling aggressive, feeling risky, you just got to full send it. I didn't show a lot of examples of cuts in here. Well, I did, but maybe that's something we could talk about in another week should you want to go down that hyper aggressive route. Hope that helped, dude.